Oh,
What's
yeah.
up, everybody? You're back in here with the boys of the Pro Football Pod. You got your boy Hulk. We got Coach. We got Austin. We've got
Yeah.
a 7-round mock draft with trades, Tennessee Titans style. Tighten up. What's up, fellas? Y'all ready to dive into this?
Yes, sir. Let's make these tits better.
The
Bro,
biggest thing that I kept forgetting was that the Titans don't have Vrabel anymore because he didn't even go anywhere else. Like, I don't know.
They don't
What do you
got
guys
Vrabel.
expect
They
from
don't
Brian?
got Taylor Lewan. It's
you
gonna
know
be a
what's
whole
going to
new
happen?
culture.
I'm fully prepared for if the Cowboys season does not work out well for them this year, then they are getting a new head coach in Bill Belichick, and Mike Vrabel will be coming on as defensive coordinator,
To eventually
ready to
take
take
over.
over
Yeah.
for Bill
Man,
Belichick when Belichick hangs it up after a few years.
we love to hear that for the Cowboys.
That's
Now,
what I think's happening. But the
I
Titans, bro, had a really solid offseason as far
yes,
as the additions that they had.
yes,
They brought in Calvin Ridley, traded for L'Jarius Sneed, brought in Tony Pollard, Chidobe Awuzie, uh, Kenneth Murray at linebacker, Lloyd Cushenberry at center, Sadiq Charles at guard, and then Sebastian Joseph Day to play defensive tackle. Really solid signings all across the board there.
they
Yeah,
lost
I really
Derrick
like
Henry,
those.
but getting Tony Pollard, I mean, getting younger at the position, and they already had
And a different style of running back,
yes,
too. So it opens up your offense a little more. I
and they
think
already
Tony
had
Pollard
Tajay
and
Sharp.
I was about to say
Taj-
that
Not
Tajay
Tajay,
Spears.
yeah,
Spears.
Tajay Spears and Tony Pollard complement each other as far as their play styles. They're kind of the same style of running back to me. So you're not really having to change your playbook too much when one of them's on the field. You just roll with it. Losing Aziz Al-Shir, obvious that's going to hurt, but they did bring in Kenneth Murray to replace that. Lost Denico Autry on the edge, Sean Murphy-Bunting at corner, and they lost their center and Aaron Brewer, but like I said, they brought in Lloyd Cushenberry to help with that. That's an upgrade. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total picks in this draft right here. Like I said, we are doing trades, but let's go ahead and dive into it and see what we're working with up here at number 7.
So Caleb, Jaden, JJ, Rome Madunze, Marvin, Drake May. Malik Neighbors is there at 7. Now they have Ridley and they have
Joe
DeAndre
Alt.
Hopkins.
Joe Alt to me is like an absolute 100. I know it keeps getting mocked there, and Titans fans are probably going to come in the comments because they're tired of seeing Joe Alt getting mocked there. But for me, when you look at their lineup, especially on the offensive side, that right tackle position is literally the only major question mark on that entire offense. Everybody else is either young and developing or an established veteran.
I agree with you, Alvin. They definitely need some dudes.
Yeah.
The-
Like you've got Calvin, you've got D Hop,
They need
Traylon
to,
Burks is still coming on. Okonkwo is a solid tight end, solid
Has
enough
been.
to get the job done. Levis, another year in the system and another year with the team, just working, improving. He showed some bright spots last year. Like for me, with what's on the board, Malik Neighbors would be like a cherry on top, but they're gonna get killed on that right side of the
And
O-line.
he's not a necessity for them because of adding Calvin Ridley. If they didn't add Calvin Ridley, then they have to go Malik here. They have to get younger at receiver. Traylon
Agreed.
is coming along, but he hasn't really shown much. So I'm totally with you. Filling out those trenches because Marvin Harrison and Roma Dunze went 4 and 5. That's the most ideal thing.
And I mean they have Dylan Raduns on the roster. I mean, it's not like he can't shift over to right tackle, and you have Joe Alt play left tackle next to Peter Skoronsky, and then you have Lloyd Cushenberry. The left side of their line has a chance to be one of the most dominant sides of an O line in the entire league.
So what do you think the odds
Joel.
are that they with there's 3 quarterbacks and 2 wide receivers that have gone. I'm sorry, there's
Four quarterbacks.
4 quarterbacks and 2 wide receivers. So there's definitely some teams like Buffalo that are going to want to trade up for like a Malik, before the next run on wide receiver happens, which is probably going to happen at 9. You think that there's any chance at all that they try to trade back here? or
It
just
very
fill
well
up?
could be a prime trade back spot, but my thing is with a prospect like Joe Alt on the board, I feel like you're toying around a little bit too much. Because
'Cause
if
of
you
the
were to trade back
It's
and
such a
miss out
safe
on
bet.
him, because I'm telling you now, if you trade back and Joe Alt's
That's
on
one
the
of the
board at
safest
10,
picks in the draft. That's
if
like
you
the
trade
safest
back and
pick.
Joe Alt's on the board at 10, the Jets are taking him.
yeah.
So you're gonna
Even
miss on
even
Joe
with
Alt.
adding Tyron Smith and Morgan Moses.
Yeah, because Tyron Smith and Morgan Moses, they're gonna give you what, maybe 1 or 2 years, like this Aaron Rodgers window. So for me, I could easily see them still going offensive tackle.
Well, let's
To
pull
me,
the trigger.
the pick with Joe Alt is it's one of those to where it's not sexy, but he's going to anchor your O line for the next 10 years.
All right, so it's going a little bit slow, so we have time to trade up if we want to stop it. I don't really think we will. I think we'll probably trade back at 38, depending on what's still there.
Yeah, so
Who's
we
still there?
handled the offensive tackle
Show some
need.
respect.
Chop Robinson goes to the Cowboys.
Wide receiver 3 is a possible need for him. Cornerback to me is a possible need, but like I said, they brought in L'Jarius Sneed and a Woozy or a Woozier, however you're saying that last name these days. Interior D line, because they run a 3-4, it's a slight need. Edge, I could see Edge as a need. They got Harold Landry still, and they still have Arden Key, but an upgrade could be had there, and they also could use a safety as well.
So
So
Tyler
just throwing
Nubin
out those for you.
is there at 26 or at 38. I'm sorry.
Mm.
I know we've been pretty high on him. Interior.
Yeah,
You could
I like the Tyler Nubin. Let's put a pin in that.
You could get Tyke Smith later on from Georgia.
Braden Fisk, Chris Jenkins are still there.
What are we looking at corner? Because they brought in Chidobe Awuzie, but I mean that there can be a clear upgrade had there. Kamari Lassiter still on the board here, right in his range.
Honestly,
I love his game.
There's been a little run on corner the last 3 picks is what happened. TJ
Yeah.
Tampa,
Yeah.
Mike Sanistrill, and Enos Rakestraw.
honestly, I like where they're at with this pick 38 to snag one of the best receivers in this draft that's left.
Like a Troy
You
or a
know,
Roman.
either Troy Franklin,
Honestly,
Yeah,
or
with
even a Ricky Pearsall.
the amount of
I mean,
teams
Keon
and
Coleman
people
and Jalen
still on the
Polk are still
board,
there.
I think this would be a possible trade back spot. Like not necessarily out of the second round altogether, but just to try to snatch up a 3rd round pick in this or an extra 4th round pick for them. Because with the positions we're looking at, whether it's safety, corner, wide receiver, defensive interior, like there's gonna be somebody there. I hate you, PFF. Stop giving the Vikings Brock Bowers.
Please stop doing it.
God.
So Olu Fashanu goes to the Broncos. Kenyon Mitchell goes to the Raiders, and Dallas Turner goes to the Saints.
Where did Bo Nix is still on the board? Correct?
I was gonna say, so that might
Yeah, he's
be
right
like
there.
seeing the Raiders trade up here and get Bo Nix could be.
But
a
that's
potential.
the thing is every team they're trading up in front of isn't gonna take Bo Nix. So that would be the Raiders trading up to guarantee that they get him. Keep scrolling down a little bit. The Giants ended up taking Drake May. The Eagles aren't going to. The Steelers aren't going to. I'm trying to see who's behind the Raiders here that would want to jump them. I don't think the Rams are making that. Browns no. Dolphins no. So shit, dude, it's really looking like the Raiders here in round 2 is the only Bo Nix landing spot I'm seeing.
Yeah. Where did Penix go?
Who?
Penix, I think he's still on the board too.
He's still on the board. Yeah.
I would go with the wide receiver route here. There's a lot of great talent still there.
That's what I'm saying is we can trade back, get extra picks, and still have a solid pick at wide receiver.
Yeah, there's a certain tier that's leaving right now, and there's only a couple guys left.
I know Ricky Pearsall is likely a target for Indianapolis. That could be a potential having them trade up a little bit right here.
See, that's what I'm looking at too. Is these teams? If we do make the trade with the Raiders, I don't think the Falcons are going to take a wide receiver. The Texans might. The Packers are not. The Commanders are not. The Panthers might. So you're looking at a possible 3 wide receivers coming off the board.
Because the
if
Panthers
that's still
took
what you're
Adonai
wanting to
Mitchell,
target.
Yes,
Yes, but they might not go back to back with it. They might because PFF simulation is freaking wild.
Yeah, it is.
All right, so let's make a decision. Are we trading? Are we picking?
I think we trade back. I think because like even
Trade back
Washington or picking right here
trade
could be
back.
another receiver.
Trade back with Vegas. Take 44 and see if we can get 77 straight up from them. All right, they're not going to do that. See if they'll give us 112.
Yes.
All right, so we'll get an extra 4th out of this, moving back a few spots. I like that. Okay, boom, and resume. Let's see what happens here. Michael Penix. And I believe not one wide receiver came off the board. Kamari Lassiter went, and so we can still get that wide receiver that Austin has his heart set on. Braden Fisk is also still here. Chris Braswell is still here. Roman Wilson. Like, there's some solid players here. Are you looking at trading back again?
I am. I'm looking at
It's
it right
not a
now.
bad
Like
call
going with the
based off
Steelers.
of
The
no
Steelers have another
wide
big need
receivers
at
going.
wide receiver. None have gone, so some are about to go. Like
And
the Saints are going
honestly-
wide receiver. I think the Colts are going wide receiver here. The Giants
Honestly, I
didn't
think
go in the
that-
first.
I think the Titans, like a good match for them would be Xavier Leggett. Get that big body dude in there.
That's what if you do trade
so,
back
like,
to 51
we could trade
with
back
the
and
Steelers, if
get
you
him
end
still.
up with Xavier
Look
Leggett
at
or
it. I
Jalen
mean, are they
Polk,
or
listening to us? What's going
Keon
on?
Coleman, one of those 3.
Like we could potentially trade back to 90 and get another pick at 98, and we're only going back another like
if
7
they
slots.
hey, if it gets accepted, do it. That's what
Yep.
you got to do as a GM. If they're dumb enough to pull the trigger, then let's do it.
Bo Nix goes.
Roman Wilson went. All right, Ricky Pearsall is still here. I'm 100% okay with Ricky Pearsall here, especially because we picked up 98 and 112.
Leggett's still there as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for them. Either him or Keon Coleman, honestly.
See, that's
They need a bigger
yeah.
body
If
type
we're gonna
receiver.
take one of those guys, then you have to take them now, because we're not gonna trade back
Yeah.
again, because that's
No.
getting a little too spicy. On
Yeah,
it.
we've gotten quite a few picks built
Yeah,
up in
we've
this
done-
middle round.
So I let it out there. I like Keon Coleman and Xavier Leggett for him. Which one would y'all take? I
Between
honestly
those
would be
two, with
so
them
perfectly
having
fine with either.
Ridley and D Hop
Yeah.
and Traylon Burke still, I lean Leggett.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same.
Yeah.
Just
But
open field.
It
Bro,
just makes more sense.
I think we really are discounting Ricky Pearsall.
No,
like,
I feel you. No,
Ricky
I'm not at
Pearsall
all.
is
I'm
a-
not doing.
I changed
that's
that.
the thing. That's the thing. It's just not a good fit for him on that team. I think
Xavier
he'll do
Leggett
better.
is 23, and Keon Coleman is about to turn 21 years old. I'm going Keon Coleman. I'm going that.
Can we pull
super-
up Ricky Pearsall's profile? Like, just because
You-
I don't
you
know
think
why
we're
we're
That's
just
low.
disrespecting
Well,
him.
that's part of my problem is his age. He's 23 years old. He ran a 4.140, super
Run, Ricky,
good.
run.
Like he is absolutely going to
Y'all-
produce right
that-
away.
Okay. Y'all are going to 100% have to veto me on this because my pick is Ricky Pearsall. So y'all take who you want and veto me. I just
You
want
think
it heard
that
for
you
the
think
fans.
that type of receiver fits in with the other 2 receivers that are already on the field?
Ricky
Like,
Pearsall
that's
is
like the perfect
electric.
balance.
6'1", 192. He's electric. He's got good hands.
I mean, we're not like I understand the concept of like building a basketball team. Like you
Give
want
him
to
a
got like
Debo.
different
Give him the
flavors
LeBron
and
James.
things like that. D Hop though, how many more years are you expecting D Hop?
One or two at most.
Exactly. You brought in
Yeah, I feel
Ridley.
that.
Ridley will be there for maybe 3 to 4. Traylon Burks, like if he doesn't work out, to me, Ricky Pearsall and his skill set, he can come in and play out of the slot right away. And if you want to move D Hop into the slot or Ridley into the slot, he's got the skills to play on the outside. Keon Coleman to me comes in and he is your outside wide receiver, red
Exactly.
zone threat.
Yep.
Which to
Go to-
me is almost a mirror. He's a bigger DeAndre Hopkins.
Yep.
Good
So
Jalen
for
Polk,
me,
real
if
quick.
you're asking how do they fit in with each other, I'm saying Pearsall fits better than Keon Coleman does. If we're going for how you're describing it of how do they fit.
Jalen Polk to
Jalen-
me is a poor man's Keon Coleman.
Jalen Polk's a dog. He's a great run blocker.
Honestly, yeah, it's tough. I like all of these receivers, right?
We're hating on Jermaine Burton too, and
We are.
That's
We haven't
not,
even mentioned that boy.
That's my thing. It's like we've got Ricky Pearsall and Jermaine Burton here, and I love Leggett. I like Coleman's game, not near as much as you guys, but I do like Coleman's game. And for me, the way the board is listed right now, the way I just personally have it, I'd go Pearsall, Leggett, Polk.
Damn. You just threw Keon out under the bus.
Like I said, I like him. I'm just not near as high on him as you guys are.
Yeah.
I'm down for the Ricky Pearsall. I think
watch
that
some film on
he's
him.
a
Become a
veteran.
fan of him.
He'll be able to come in and have a veteran presence almost because of his age. My issue is just that he's not going to develop as much as like a Keon Coleman will. And you've already got, your second contract receiver. You've got your last contract receiver. Getting someone that's 21 years old that you can ride for the next 4 years that's my thing with Keon.
No diddy.
But yeah, we'll
Like
go
I
Ricky
said,
Pearsall.
if y'all like Keon, you can veto me on it. I was just giving my thoughts on how the board was sitting.
Between Leggett and Pearsall, I think Pearsall is gonna transition better into the NFL. So I think
He's a more well-rounded wide
exactly.
He's Max Crosby at wide receiver.
So we're going Ricky Pearsall, 51.
receiver. Smoking them black and milds in the locker room.
For real. That's how he is.
So a little bit of a gap before we pick again. Keon Coleman goes to the Chiefs. I hope that happens so bad. Not really, because I'd really like the Chiefs to not win 6 Super Bowls in a row.
All right, so we've gone offensive
Rice is
tackle,
where-
we've gone wide receiver, I
Bucky Irving to the
think
Bucks.
edge,
That's
and
gonna sell
corner
jerseys.
are probably the next 2 positions we need to look at.
Let's take a look at them right now. Xavier Thomas is still there. Jerry Jones and Renardo Green, and DJ James.
Well, we know how we feel about DJ James. It's going to be a slight reach here. We do pick again at 106, 108,
106.
and 112. Yeah, so we've got
What's there
a
at safety?
good handful of picks here.
Um,
Sloan Vaki.
Tye Smith's there later. We can snag him if we want.
yeah, we don't have to go safety necessarily right now.
I like the Florida State cornerbacks.
Yeah, pull up, give us those profiles there for the people.
Florida State
Jer-
always produces cornerbacks.
Jerry
too.
and
Like, really
Jones
known
had a
for it.
really good year last year.
0 touchdowns.
In
See
the
what I
last
mean?
2 years.
Yeah.
Hasn't allowed a touchdown in 2 years.
Renardo Green, not as good. He gave up 3 touchdowns this year.
Oh,
Both about the same size. So really between those two guys, it's just pick your player or pick your flavor. My flavor is more on the Jerry and Jones.
Yeah, the other thing is Jerry Jones has never really missed a game. Maybe he missed like 1 or 2 in
Well,
21 and 22.
Looking at his grades, like his run defense grade is way, way higher.
Yeah,
Which just tells me he's a willing tackler.
exactly. I'm okay with going Jerry and Jones here. I mean, we could honestly double up at corner at this point. because there are still quite a few that are
Yeah,
left.
we're gonna
Xavier
be like back
Thomas
to back picks
too
too.
isn't. I mean, super athletic guy. Look at these
He'll
grades.
he'll be there at our next pick.
That's what I mean.
guarantee
We
it.
could end up going him
Yeah.
on the next one.
So, yeah,
So
Jerry and Jones, JJ,
Jarian Jones.
JJ to the TTs.
And there's Xavier Thomas for you right there.
yep.
You still get DJ James too.
Oh wait, Tommy Eichenberg, Liam Eichenberg's brother. I mean, dude, that guy's gonna be an athlete. So yeah, I think Xavier Thomas.
Oh,
I think fill another position of lead of need.
Dwayne Carter.
Dwayne Carter wouldn't be a terrible pick either. Where they're running a 3-4, they do have the need as far as one of their end spots. They've got Justin Simmons, they've got Sebastian Joseph Day that they brought in, but that third spot is really up for grabs. Obviously, the edge is the more premium position, so.
And I
when
like getting the
comparing
super
the two-
athletic guy, like the
Yeah.
6'2", 255 over like the 6 foot 305. I just at this point,
Yeah,
in the
and like I
draft-
said, you've got Harold Landry and then Arden Key. And Arden Key is just bounced around. He's pretty much consistently can be upgraded on every season, no matter what team he's on. Like, no hate to you, Arden, but I mean, that's just what it is. So, yeah, I'm cool with the Xavier Thomas pick.
All right, pulling the trigger. We still got 5 more picks to go. If you're still here, make sure you comment and subscribe. We're going to be doing a couple more of these before the draft happens. All right, so we still have. We ended up getting Ricky Pearsall, so we did kind of fix wide receiver a little bit for them. If we look back at the corners, Jarvis Brownlee, someone that we've been pretty high on.
Jarvis Brownlee, yeah, Cam Hart as well. Fan of him. Let's see. So we've got offensive tackle, we've got wide receiver, we've got corner, we've got
Tyke Smith
edge.
is still there. We were looking at him a little bit ago.
Damn it, Dwayne Carter just went a few little bit ago.
Yep. A couple picks after tackle and then him.
So yeah, for me, Tyke Smith.
I was saying,
Yeah, Tyke.
Yeah, I like Tyke Smith's game.
Spot to get him too.
5'10", 205, got some speed.
And that's what I'm saying too, though, is they have the more of the need at strong safety than they do at free safety, with them having Armani Hooker at free safety.
Look at these grades. Like forced incompletion rate and average depth of tackle, not great, but his coverage grade and his run defense grade are very good.
Yeah, that's the pick for me.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I've been saying it the whole draft, so
Yeah, exactly. Javon Solomon goes to the Bengals.
My guy, Troy Great. Yeah.
Braylon
let's speed
now
this
to the
up a
San
little bit.
Fran. Oh hell no.
All right.
So let's see. Analysis has us taking a running back here. That's so dumb.
No.
It's
See, I would
It's
take Cedric
not
Gray
terrible.
before I took, but no. Scroll down. I want to look at Makai Wingo and
I like
Mason Smith.
So Makai, 6'1", 295, athletic build. 3 phenomenal seasons with LSU, but he got hurt this past year. That's probably why he's fallen into the 4th. But man, look
I
at
love
these
his
grades.
I love his name, dude. Wingo.
Right? 5 sacks on the interior, huge. 12 hurries. Last year he had 20 hurries with 4 sacks from the interior.
That's a defensive interior wrecker there. And then, if I'm not mistaken, the other Mason Smith is the bigger body guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, 6'6", 315.
But his run
So-
defense grade is so shit. I hate that.
Yeah.
He
His
also
run
has had
defense grade
problems
leaves a
staying
lot.
on the field his whole career. This year he
Yep.
finally stayed the whole time, but wasn't very efficient.
Yeah. So scheme wise, I think Mason Smith would fit better, but I can't go Mason Smith over Makai Wingo in this spot.
Yeah, I like taking the athletic guy at this point in the draft, 5th round.
Where do we pick again?
We pick again at 182.
See, that's where pull up the tight end list.
Yeah, we kind of missed out on some. Yeah, no, they're there.
No, we got some coming down the pipe here. So, okay.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at Theo Johnson here possibly too, but I like Makai Wingo over Theo in this spot, and then
Yeah.
we'll just see who we got available.
All right, let's pull the trigger.
Win and go, baby.
Jaheim Bell just went,
Yeah.
but your boy Tip's still there.
Tip Ryman, he's still there.
Yep. I can see him playing for the Titans. A true warrior.
That's a if they still had Vrabel, I think that they're going Tip all day long right here.
Oh,
Just
100%.
For real.
100%.
All right, so we pick again at 242 and 252. That's where, for me, like Trey Knox, Jared Wiley, I'd be fully okay with one of those guys just throwing a flyer out there at tight end.
Yeah, I don't mind Trey Knox, and that's almost local. You don't have to
Jared
move
Wiley
far
to
with
me
his
is the
family.
better
Jared
prospect.
Wiley, yeah, look at that receiving grade, dude.
He's
Like
6'7", like the dude is huge. Like he's Tip Ryman if you took the blocking ability and transferred it to the receiving ability.
which they're not going to be a run first team necessarily anymore.
No,
so
I think they're going to be a lot more balanced. So,
Yes.
yeah, I think our final pick, we pulled the trigger on Jared Wiley. Keep that one in the bag. Right here, I mean, this one we're kind of cooking with gas. Like, you could go with a Luke McCaffrey, a Jalen Harrell.
a Kamani Vidal to take running back. I think this guy is a freaking beast, total beast. He's a little bit small, but like, dude,
And
he's
see,
just
that's
so
where
efficient.
for me, with bringing in Tony Pollard and having Tajay Spears, both on the smaller side of running backs, I don't know if they would do it. Like I was looking at Jordan Jefferson. You've got your mouse over him there.
Yeah.
Double up at defensive interior from LSU.
Now they get their big guy, 3 sacks, a lot better grade. His run defense is a lot better too. So you're kind of getting the best of both worlds. You've got your third down pass, pin the ears back, but then you've also got your stuffer.
Who's there at linebacker? Like I know you've got the overall board, but
We're still seeing Steel Chambers, but it's a little bit early. It's kind of a little bit early for everyone, but 242 is going to be way too late for most of these guys. We do like Curtis Jacobs some. We
like Curtis Jacobs. We like Trevin Wallace from Kentucky. We've looked at Dallas Gant as well, so that's a possibility with the next pick. All right, so kind of got the next 2 picks outlined. So what are you thinking here, Austin? Did we lose Austin?
No, there's a lot of options. Just too many options. We got so many damn picks now. We can get.
That's why I'm saying, like, we can.
I
get
like the LSU.
Little frisky with it.
I like Jordan Jefferson. You also know I like Tip. That's the goddamn RoboCop right there.
I mean, I know we took an edge with Xavier Thomas, but to double up at edge with Jalen Harrell at a premium position like that, like you can just never have enough pass rushers.
That's
I'm not mad at that
6'4",
one.
240. I like that.
Yeah, he's a beast.
I honestly think we go there.
I'm cool with it. Like I
Build
said,
those trenches up.
this
I mean,
pick,
we
as
traded
we're
back for a
seeing it
reason.
here, is a complete luxury right here. We're just kind of able to throw a dart at, like I said, a Luke McCaffrey pick. That would make the wide receiver room a little crowded, and then you start wondering where does he fit in to the offense overall as like a wide receiver 5 or
Yeah, we got
reserve
Ricky
guy.
Pearsall earlier. Ricky Pearsall's got better speed. Like he's coming from a bigger school, a little bit more production.
Yeah, but you get that's honestly a great pick though. You get Luke McCaffrey with that like little trio going on with that quarterback and those 2 wide receivers. Come on now, that's tough.
True, but
like
that's
that.
where the problem is too. Is he immediately goes into camp and he's having to beat out Traylon Burks or Ricky Pearsall, the guy they just drafted.
I
in the
think
second.
Jalen Harrell.
Yeah, that's just
will
solid
add
depth though. Like
good
for him
rotation.
to grow, he's like been training with his brother, who's been in the NFL and dominating for years.
That's true. I'm
It's
not
one
trying
of those
to.
premium picks in the draft. There's only like 4 or 5 of them.
I think Jalen Harrell. I think adding edge rusher on the outside or Jordan Jefferson, but like just increasing that production from
go
the
with Jalen
defensive
Harrell.
line.
Yeah, I like Harrell. If they didn't take Ridley, I would be all for going a
Wide
guy
receiver
like
again.
Pearsall and then McCaffrey again.
Exactly.
Because then you're not worried about how many mouths you're having to feed at that point. All right, 242. Little drop down here.
7th round. Pick 22.
Yeah, Mr. Irrelevant.
Oh yeah.
So we still get Jared Wiley.
We can get him with the last pick of the draft for us.
We could go Trevin Wallace right here. We haven't taken a
I-
linebacker yet.
I like Dallas Gant more than I like Trevin Wallace, if I'm being 100%. He's lower on the
What's
board,
up, dude?
but like you just pull up his grades.
Yeah,
and
we
it
talked about
speaks for
that.
himself.
I think on the Giants episode, and we all kind of came to the same thing. Once you saw like what his production was and just like what he's grading at, his pass rush grade isn't great, but that's not what you need from your middle.
His run defense is what you're looking at.
Exactly.
And yeah, he's coming in just pure middle linebacker.
Whereas Trevin Wallace just leaves a lot to be desired on like his efficiency. So yeah, I'm down for going Dallas Grant and then getting tight end on our last
Jared
one.
Wiley.
Jared Wiley.
Let's do it. Let's round out this draft for these Titans fans.
Last
Jared
tight end on the
Wiley.
board.
Boom.
All right,
There
Titans.
you have it.
If you're still
A
here with us,
plus
be sure to
grade.
subscribe and hit that notification bell. They said we should have taken Neighbors. Coach tried to swing me on it a little bit, but you know what? We got the next Joe Thomas coming in.
And I mean, they
We're
still gave
okay
us an
with
A
it.
on that.
Yeah, you're not going to give us a low grade on Joe Alt. You'd be an idiot.
Yeah.
Couple little swindle deals here, trading back twice in the second round. Only went back to pick 51 and still picked up Ricky Pearsall, which we got an A for. A- for Jerry Jones. B+ for Xavier Thomas in the 4th. B for Tyke Smith in the 4th. C+ for Mekhi Wingo in the 5th. Jalen Harrell gave us an A- there in the 6th.
Nice.
Gant and Jared Wiley both got us a C+, but that's the 7th round. You'll take it. A- overall. Titans fans, if you've got any disagreements with us, which I'm sure you do because everyone does, go ahead and throw it in the comments. Tell us why we're dumb. I think if you come out of the draft with this as your draft haul, you have no reason to be upset.
Not at all. I mean, look at all the value that we got from trading back, but make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.
Catch y'all on the flippity flip. Here comes the outro music.
Chicken chow mein, y'all.
HalseyRoseTea.com.